Greetings from Snake Mountain Boatworks on Tuesday, January 28, 2020. Here is an update on the 1947 Chris U22 that found the bottom, and previous videos have chronicled the damage done to her running gear. We have now flipped her over, which is quite a challenge with a U22. It's heavy, long, and wide. Thank God for a winch wrapped around the bilge stringer, over the gunwale, and around the boat, and the winch pulled her over. Human beings by themselves would play hell doing it. So we've now got some good news for both the boat and her owner. Yes, the damage is substantial, as we can see here. This is where the strut must have hit the rocks, broke it down, broke this frame, dislodged the rudder shaft log and its support members, if you remember from previous videos, and did damage to this frame member that runs up the center of the transom. So why is there good news? Well, the good news is that, at least as a working hypothesis, we can get at all the damage by removing 1, 2, 3, 4 bottom planks. And what's particularly good about that is that if I come up the bottom of the boat, the first thing I encounter is she quite clearly hit the rocks amidship first. This rip is at its worst, a good 3/16 of an inch deep. Her owners were probably lucky that the rocks didn't blow all the way through the bottom at that point. But back to the good news. The plank closest to the keel ends right here. It ends about 8 feet from the transom. The next plank outboard ends right here, about 10 feet from the transom. So, at least initially, we will be removing this plank and this plank, doing our best not to dislodge the angled, very thin plywood inner skin in the process. This bruise will have to remove all of these fasteners on where it was hit so badly, and that's what 3M Marine Premium filler is for. We'll be able to fare that back. That's not a huge job. I should say that for a 1947 who still retains her original traditional bottom, this is a bottom in just excellent condition. We'll do no more to the rest of the bottom beyond repairing the disaster at the transom than stripping it to bare wood. And by now you know the drill: flooding it with clear penetrating epoxy sealer, priming it with Interlux Interprotect 2000E barrier coat epoxy primer. And I will confirm with the owners, but this appears to be a blot of bottom paint. I believe they use this boat as an in-water boat. In other words, she floats all season, so we do not want to apply the hard racing copper bronze bottom paint that is meant strictly and exclusively for dry sailing. So we will pull these 2 planks, and one more. We have to get at this plank right here. This transom plank runs from the bottom of the transom to here. So we will remove this plank. It's badly split right here, split through and through. We'll do our best to repair that. But this is a plank that's almost exclusively behind paint, except for these 2.5, 3 inches right here. The problem is it's going to be very difficult to find old growth mahogany that is going to match this. So we will do our damnedest to save this plank. But by removing it, we can get at this frame. It'll also give us access to this area and this area. In addition to the access we are going to get, by releasing these 4 planks. So we will expose an area that is a good 2 feet wide, 8 to 10 feet long. We'll be able to get at everything in here. We can repair the keel. We can repair all the landings for the strut, the rudder shaft log, the prop shaft and the prop, as well as the rudder in time. So that's really good news. She did go through a hellish crash with the rocks, with the bottom, but repairing her is not going to be a Herculean feat that we were worried it might be. I think you can see that, especially if I pan in a little bit. Let's really pan in. It's funny, cameras can move. Right? I think what you see is all these fasteners have popped. Right? So I am guessing this, since it only runs from here to here, is not a major frame. But the fasteners have all popped here. Most of them have popped here. But we'll check outboard of there, because this part of the boat was really insulted, really insulted. So we'll get out our picks, our rota broach, and begin going at releasing those 4 planks. And we'll be back to you once we discover what lies beneath. Thank you so much. Bye-bye for now from Snake Mountain Boatworks.